Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Vanessa Lomeli.
Aaron, wait, I gotta talk. I can't, like, not say anything. I know. Alright. En español? Yo quiero Taco Bell. No, I do a lot more than that. Believe it or not, I do. This morning I wake up at 7:30, and I'm just sitting there laying in bed, and I'm thinking, okay, this is it. Not in a negative way, like this is the day, And like everyone knows me, where like I'm a very I gotta know what's going on. Like, okay, know where everybody's at. I gotta make sure that everything's planned out. Believe it or not. But I felt good. I felt good. We had some time to just relax at home, and a little awkward silence in the house was actually nice. Because I got to reflect a little bit, thinking like a week from now, Eve and I'll be living in our house, and we'll be starting our life together. Officially. But the way I see it, like Eve and I've been married for 5 years, 6 years, But you travel your whole life. You start out in New Jersey. You have little destinations you see. You go like, I can live here. Like I'm like, oh, I can move. I'll move to California. And then you start out with the 1 year plan. Like I'll be here a year. Okay, what a year that was. It was like great. Starting year 2, I meet Eva. Oh shit, right? First night we go out, she rolls up, wearing a, I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like, what would my dad say? That's pretty cool, it's awesome, I'm like, we go get the drinks, she has one and I have 8. No, right? But what's odd is that you go through your life meeting different people, and like you just meet different people, and you say, oh, I really jive with that person. I really enjoy that person, and that's what Eve and I always had. We never really had any doubt about our friendship or where we kind of could take our friendship. We're friends now, but I want to be friends 50, 100 years from now. And it's like. I'm sitting there today, and I always got a kick out, and the priest is like, "To death do you part." I'm like, "But how long is that really?" You're like, "Come on, you're a priest, you should know this stuff." We had a funeral before the wedding today. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who's planning this book? A blind person, in India taking phone calls. Oh, funerals? Oh, what's one right here? Come on, Anyway, but we're all nervous about that. My sister Colleen, she's like, you gotta get on that, make that hearse is not there. I'm like, okay, good, But the funny thing about everyone here in this room is like, they have a great energy, a great vibe. You guys always were encouraging me to like, oh, this is your girl, like this is Eva. I'm like, I sort of chuckle. I'm like, whatever. But I knew. And you all should have known that too. Like when I sit there and say, oh, whatever, and a beer, you're like, come on, you guys know, like this was the girl of my dreams. And plus I was like, I go to her parents' house, they make beans all the time. I'm like a bean machine. It's great. I love to eat. When I first started out, I would have these parties like this, and it was all be, everybody would be speaking Spanish and talking about stuff, and I sit in the corner, and Rex would be like, chill. Like Rex and I'd be like, one for me, one for Rex. One for me, one for Rex. We got photos somewhere of that. Like me, But over time, the scary part was over time, I was more sitting around the table, like grasping, what they're saying. And they're like, "Oh, Mike, you understand that?" I'm like, "What are you gonna do with an elephant in the backyard?" It was like, no, we were sitting around the table, in Easter, they're like saying, "Oh, they're gonna ask for godparents for Frank and Monica," and it's like they're like, "Oh, hey, over there, hey, like you guys get that?" I go, "Actually, I understand what's going on." It was like shocking, and that just that kind of cemented where we were going with my relationship with Eva. I was like, "This is great." I go, this is where we should be, And I was very Eva, how much is wedding costing? Like, who can we cut out? I haven't seen them in years. This was her talking. But we're so damn happy. I can't even explain it. We're sitting back there. They're like, "Oh, the bar's already hit." Are you kidding me? This is great. What do you want? Here's a cash check. But this is the girl I love. It's hard for me to say that sometimes because I'm a shy person. When I express. All right, those guys at that table. Yeah, but Eva, I'm so happy that everybody's here. And I appreciate my dad, Ann, everyone, Fred, Eva Senior, helping us out, and getting us going. It means a lot to us, But this is how we go to a bar. I talk, she listens, she smiles, But it's a good person to bring, right? But anyway, why you guys I'm getting thirsty. So I went to your classes and. Thank you. That's all we can say. Thank you.
If we could let Vanessa up here, Eva's sister, Vanessa.